Welcome to North Hudson Public Works Committee meeting of Tuesday, November 15, 2022 at 5:30 p.m. Item number 1 is call to order. Roll call, please.
Chair Pike.
Here.
Trustee McGurran.
Here.
Trustee Merrill. Here.
Item number 2 is approve the minutes from our October 18 meeting.
I move to approve the minutes from the October 18th meeting.
Second.
All right, any discussion or changes?
Not that I could tell.
All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Passed. Item 3, comments from the floor. Doesn't look like we have any today. Item 4, water and wastewater metering discussion only.
So I gave you guys a handout. I did get a price on a single meter. That would be just for the water. You would want to double that because we'd want 2 of them. And I don't know what the installation would be. I guess that would have to be, I'd probably have to ask somebody else that, I guess. I don't know if they would honestly do that, so maybe I can work with Kevin on that. The wastewater metering, from what I was told by these guys, was that the best way to do that is to have the meter that's in that lift station would be the most accurate, that is disconnected or doesn't work or whatever it is, but that should be
So basically pull it and put a new one in?
replaced. Yeah.
Okay.
That would be the most accurate. There are other meters, but they're not going to be accurate
Okay.
or as accurate as that one. So I don't know how far you want me to go with that. Keep digging into it and get exact numbers and bring it back, or
I do. I don't know about you two.
Is it in the budget for this next year, Patrick, or how would we, how would we cover this? Would it come out of the sewer fund?
the water and sewer fund,
Water-
probably. Yeah.
So there are resources to pay for it.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Yeah.
And you said last meeting that you thought it would pay for itself.
Yeah, no, I definitely think it would. I think to know actual numbers would be
Yeah.
beneficial for both
Yep.
communities.
It seems like it's going to be critical.
Yeah, no, I agree. So, all right, I will bring it back.
Okay, when you bring it back, Patrick, get us a total price on the water, for the 2, and then the install, soup to nuts.
Can you monitor this remotely, or do you have to go in there?
The meter?
Yeah.
I think these are remote.
Nice.
Yeah, because there's a transmitter. Yeah.
Yeah, it's got a transmitter on it.
That would be a remote deal, so that would be definitely nice.
Let's try and make sure it does, okay?
Okay. I'll do that.
You could check it during meetings.
Yeah, we could put it up on the board there.
Any other questions for Kevin on this one? All right, that takes us to item 5, Riverside Drive Duplex Sanitary Sewer Control Panel discussion only.
So this one, I guess what I'm asking is that, how do you guys want to pay for it? Because that's where I'm stuck at. Initially we were going to use ARPA funding, which, talking with the other staff, that would be our recommendation, because initially that's what ARPA was for, and that's where we put it. That was like the first thing on the list. And I think that's the only thing we have left now, because we bought the generator.
How much is it?
It's going to be, what I say, 45,000, something like that. I don't have an exact price, but
We had 100,000 left?
yeah, something like that.
Yeah, something like that, a little over.
I'm okay with that.
And what's the benefit of doing that instead of taking it out of the fund?
But we don't want to, I guess I don't want to keep taking money out of that fund. I know there's a good, there's a healthy balance in that, but we've already taken money from there. Just from my experience, when something goes wrong and we need to replace something, and then there's not enough money in there, you're going to be taken out of the unassigned fund. You're going to be, you know what I mean? I hate to bring that amount down, and the other staff in the office agrees with that. So I guess I'll leave it up to you guys, whatever you want to do, but I got quotes over a year ago, and I'm not going to go get new ones until we figure out what fund we're going to take it out
Okay,
of.
so first of all, I think that's a finance committee thing. They're gonna beat it up and say, where do we wanna take this from? It's not gonna be our decision where to get the money from. They know we got funds in, what is it, 210?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, 210, and they've got unassigned funds that they might wanna put towards it, or they've got ARPA funds. So I really think we just say, we wanna get this done and get it on the next finance committee meeting. Do you guys have any input beyond that?
My only question is if, what I heard was that the fund, if there's a problem, that fund gets taken down, and do we have any idea, like, is it sufficient? That's like a bigger question. Is that fund sufficient? It's about the rates, it's about all those things, and
There's-
do we need to do something to look at that issue on a larger scale?
We did ask Nathan to look at that during budget discussions, to look at the rates, and do we think we have enough coming in? And what Patrick said is really true. If we lose a lift station, or in the discussions on the big Riverside lift station on who's gonna bring that back up to speed, whether that comes down to Hudson or us, we do know that we're hearing somewhere between $500,000 and $750,000, and that would definitely wipe out that fund.
So what you're saying is that,
I would rather
can we
not.
do a recommendation to the finance committee? Or is the finance committee just gonna,
They're gonna discuss it and try and figure out the best place to pull it from either way, no matter what we do.
so I guess a recommendation would just be the ARPA funds and then just leave it up to the finance committee, right?
Yep.
So I'll put it future agenda, I'll get quotes for next meeting, and then as long as I have a direction to go, I just don't want to get quotes and then a
Understood.
year from now, because it's going to take a year to get this stuff.
Right.
And then some.
Yep.
So we're already kind of pushing it.
Let's keep moving.
Okay.
And I'm not saying, I like to have a different conversation about ARPA, but that's a board conversation.
Okay.
And so I totally think we need this. I have no problem with that. And then what are we going to do about, or when are we going to hear, who's going to hear about Nathan's evaluation? Because there's a way to figure out, I mean, I would think Kevin must have some idea about, like, when our equipment needs to be replaced and some sort of a, what kind of money do we need at one kind of a time scale?
We can bring that back. I think Nathan and I figured some of that out, or we figured part of that out when we replaced the pumps on the lift stations, because there's like a 15-20-year shelf life.
Yes, exactly.
So, yeah, we can do the same thing for the control panels. Just so I'm letting you know the urgency of it. I've got a component in that control panel that I cannot replace now, and it isn't working.
Yeah.
Because it's obsolete. So it's not a critical component, but just to let you know that if I've got to start replacing parts, it's going to get expensive, and it's going to be a lot of call-ins. Like, yeah, I know you weren't here for the Cedar lift station, but that was,
Right.
A nightmare.
Well, and I totally think that's the kind of thing I'm talking about, like, what kind of expenses are we anticipating over the next 5 years, the next 10 years, the next 15 years, and are our rates and our account balances sufficient to cover what we would estimate is going to be happening? Just like the cars, when you need to replace a car, I would imagine a lot of these things have a certain number of years that they're going to last.
okay, I'll make a note and I'll talk with Nathan and we'll see if
Yeah.
we can put something together.
Anything else on the Riverside control panel? All right. If
So
not,
do we need a vote? It just goes to the board with our
It's just
recommendation that it
discussion
needs
only.
to
I'll bring it
happen?
back
Oh,
next-
this was a
sorry.
discussion only,
Got it.
so yeah, he's got to come back with the
The
new numbers, and
Okay.
hopefully they'll give us a better timeline on when it comes.
Yeah, I wouldn't count on
Well,
that,
who
but
knows?
maybe.
Yeah.
All right, that takes us to item number 6, chair update. My only update is to say Thanksgiving's next week, and I hope everybody has a happy and safe Thanksgiving. Item number 7, engineers report. Kevin?
So I talked about the CIP plan last month, and then we went in and revised that, so we added the 8th Street Portion from Monroe to Michelson Street, that's where you've had some issues with some water main breaks over the previous years. So something of that magnitude, if you're gonna replace the water main, you would be looking at doing sanitary sewer, doing a total reconstruct, and put a cost around 900,000 for that project. But
Okay.
it's, it's out there a ways,
27?
27.
Okay.
So I'll let you know, that's been updated. LRIP funds, those will actually be next year, if you want to apply for another project, just a local project.
So, can I back you up on
Sure.
2027? You also have another one on there, North End Road, Sand Hill Point to Highway 35. That's where we just had that break?
Yeah,
Where, Sand Hill Road at,
Sand Hill Point.
or Point?
yeah, that cul-de-sac,
Goes to the cul-de-sac there.
Okay, thanks.
north-south.
Okay, continue, sorry.
No. So yeah, next year you'll be able to apply for the LRIP funding again, if you wish to do that. Nothing this year.
I wish to do that. Do you wish to do that?
I wish you do that.
We wish to do that.
It's always a good thing to try to get if you can get some funds for some smaller resurfacing projects. The other thing is, now that St. Croix Street is done, we do have a final bill from Monarch. That's been finalized. We're just waiting for the other component with Zappa Brothers. Once we have that, then we'll start working on the final special assessment report.
Checklist is good?
Seems to ride real
You
nice
guys
through there.
felt like it went pretty good?
Yeah.
How did it go with our guys helping out as much as we did in this particular project? Did that work out for us?
I don't know, I thought it did.
Okay.
Probably want to ask them.
Our guys?
Yeah, I can say I thought it went okay, but.
Okay. Well, that's good.
Helped out.
Saved, what, 23,000?
Saved 23,000? I think that needs to be stated somewhere.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Kevin, are you presenting final numbers to the board on that project?
Yeah, we'll have to,
Would you please make mention of that in your
yep, definitely.
comments to the board? Because that's a big thing. We're trying to keep giving guys raises and stuff, and when we can show efficiencies like that, I think that bodes well.
Well, you got two good guys. They did the grading out there with a skid steer and a loader, which is not usually how you do that.
Okay,
So, yep, went good. I thought it went good.
all right. Anything else, Kevin?
Nope, that's all I got.
Kevin, when you added Monroe or 8th,
Yes.
the previous project list, we had different estimated years that these things would happen. I'm sorry if I missed it, was there an estimate of the year that project should happen?
The 8th Street?
Yeah,
It says 2027
oh, I'm sorry,
Yeah. It's
on
way
the
at
top
bottom.
sheet at the bottom.
I'm working off the last one, okay.
And the other little red spot up there, well, it's in our packet. And the other red spot is North End, right?
Yeah.
That's a really short stretch, huh?
Well, we hope so. We're not sure where that pipe ends, so,
Oh, really? Okay.
Good and the bad is.
yeah.
Where does it say 2027?
On
It's
the-
on that first.
It's on the
Bottom of the-
picture. Look at the
Oh,
bottom.
got it,
Yeah.
okay,
Yep.
thank you.
Yep.
Okay, anything else, Kevin?
Nope, that's it.
I thought we wanted something else from Kevin tonight. Oh, are we getting a GIS demo eventually?
Yeah, we'll put that off till next year. I think we talked about that.
Okay, all right. Okay, any other questions for our engineer? All right, that takes us to item 8, director report.
Well, my report is that I got the Pacer ratings done, and you have some handwritten ones with the wrong date at the top, which I will correct.
Okay, any questions for Kevin or for Patrick on the Pacer ratings?
You can give them to Kevin.
You guys actually work together on the PACER ratings, or, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So any questions on the PACER ratings?
Are the, like, the fives and the lower numbers all reflected in the CIP already? Like Fox, I was looking at like Fox Tree Lane, Summers Point. Are those all already in the CIP?
Yeah, I have them,
Probably not currently up to date because I
No.
did this and Kevin did that. So
Yeah.
usually that comes next year when we
They gotta put their
Okay.
heads together.
coordinate everything.
So
Yeah.
they'll go into the project plan next year?
Yeah.
Got it.
yeah,
Yep.
these are 2021.
Because we generally do we're doing those at the same time, so we're not.
Sure.
We're just trying to get them done, so we don't necessarily.
So some of these might be, I mean, have to be done fairly soon, I would think, the fives?
Well, yeah, or they'll go on our seal coating, depending on
Okay.
what shape they're in, I guess. If it's yeah.
So you understand what he means by that? We budget for seal coating, and then we look at this PACER rating and decide where we're gonna seal coat, and then we go out for bid for the seal coating, and that all happens next year.
Yeah.
So sometimes they don't make, just because they have a low PACER rating doesn't mean that we're going to put them on a CIP project. In other words, they might get taken care of just by seal coating them again. The real CIP ones, like the retaining wall, obviously, which is huge, but where we've got sewer and water, which is what we're looking at on A Street, what we're looking at up on North End, those are the ones that we generally see pop on our CIP sheet. And again, it's a living document, so it can change. We had a year where first we had Cedar go down, and then the lift station, and that wasn't on our CIP. So it got done anyway, had to. And then, was it Little Riverside? Which,
That one was,
we had to order.
Yeah, it was River.
Or East Bank.
East Bank.
East Bank.
And then
Pumps go out. And to get those pumps in is really a pain, and they're expensive. So those things, as you were saying before, how do we plan ahead, which is what you're asking them to help us figure out, but that thing was running, the first one, Cedar, was running for how long before it went down?
26 or
26
28 years.
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
So the village got their money out of that one.
so that's kind of how that works. Anything else for Patrick? Anything else you got, Patrick?
Just go over and check out the new pickleball court at Glen Oaks. We got that done finally this year, so
Okay.
I was worried that we weren't going to get it done. I see that some of the hydrants were painted, not that that's in my wheelhouse or anything, but I did notice that they got some hydrants painted.
Is flushing completed on time this year?
Sure.
Is it completed?
Yeah.
Okay. And what's the other thing they do for us?
All the valves.
Valves?
Yeah, those, I think so.
Okay. You're not getting reports, or?
Somewhat, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I have one question. Last meeting, Patrick, you had talked about the emergency number and, how people were overusing that and it was causing problems with trying to get other things done. And I was checking, and is the emergency number the same as the number that's listed in, to reach the North Hudson Public Works, 715-386-1730?
No,
Okay,
that's my office.
okay. That's-
But I have.
I don't have an emergency number,
That-
which is fine.
No, so if you call my office phone, at the end of the message, it will say, if this is an emergency, call that number. And that's
Got it.
what must have happened. So, yeah, if it is a true emergency, please do call. But if it's wondering if we're gonna get your cul-de-sac cleaned out, please don't.
So leaving a message on the general number isn't a problem.
No, not at all.
Got it.
Just,
Thank you.
my point was that we have to carry that on-call phone.
Sure.
And if we're on call and we're also plowing snow, we have to stop. You can't keep going, and then that just slows the process up, that's all.
Right.
Could you kind of give us updates throughout the winter on how extensive that's being used, the emergency number? Give us a better idea.
Sure.
I don't know, put it in your notes for just a little quick update each time.
Okay.
We were plowing, we got 3 calls. We were plowing, we got 10 calls, whatever.
Okay, all right.
Hey, Patrick,
Yeah.
how did the street sweeping go?
Well, it didn't get finished. Everything on this side of 35 got done. That side did not get done. He's not completely done. The sweeper is gonna stay here for like a week or so, just in case the temperatures warm back up. If not, I mean, everything's kind of froze down, so we'll do our best to use the box broom, the skid steer, whatever, and try to get that stuff up and cleaned up.
Otherwise, the first snow, you're just gonna push her right back into the,
I would never do that. No, yeah,
that's
I
just
mean,
gonna
there's-
happen, because they're gonna fly with the snow, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and there's, I know, I've heard, well, we should have had them come in earlier, but historically, it's been this time of year when they've always came. So they always wait until all the leaves have fallen, which I know that makes sense, because you don't want to sweep the streets and then a week later you got
Clogged.
leaves back down,
Yeah.
and then everybody's,
It happened considerably late this year for the leaves to fall anyway, so.
Well, we got that, when we had that 35 mile an hour west wind hit my house, my leaves cleared. And since it was coming out of the west, everything went
Right
right
into
on
the-
the 4th Street.
Right into the street. So you're the guy, huh?
It was nice. No, it can't do it on mine because I've got a slope between me and the street. But I noticed everywhere else on that street, it just seemed like everybody's yard went right into the street.
yeah, that does happen. I get it.
But it did clean all the trees on that, in my yard. That's unusual for me to see my red oak leaves down. I mean, that was a big wind.
We had rain not too long after that too,
Right,
so that
yeah.
helped, yeah. No, but he did, actually, they worked as fast as we could. We worked some 13, 14-hour days to try to get as much done as we could, because we knew the cold temperatures were coming. So if it does warm up, he'll come back and we'll finish it.
Finish it up? Okay.
Thanks to you and your boys, Pat.
Yep. Anything else for Patrick? And you don't have anything else, Patrick? All right, that takes us to item number 9, Public Works Capital Equipment Current and Future Budgeting, discussion only. Since we just did the budget literally today, I don't think we have anything, but we will be asking Patrick, as usual, to start a list and, keep it running and show it to us throughout the year. And he'll add to it as we need things, and we're asking for things. Which takes us item 10, future agenda items. Anybody have a future agenda item? If not, that takes us to item 11. We are adjourned at 5:54 PM. Thank you.